Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Before I get started, I would like to talk about the fabric of reality. What I would do if I had the fabric of reality, how I would help people. Just imagine if I was the maker of my own future, which I am. I made this video, but this thing, I don't know what possessed me to get it. I'll read what it says because I'm going to do a lot of reading. But it says something in particular that tickles my fancy because I got my mother tattooed right there. R.I.P. Nadine. So it says, wake up early and chase greatness. Dream so big, it scares you. The journey. I think the mouth is bigger than the reward. I have to show you what I'm saying. The little things equal, greater than. Expect less and hope more. You'll be happier. Take risks. The stories will be worth it. Love your mom so much you tattooed it on your arm. What does that got to do? Like, how you ease that in there? Life can be tough. Take it one day at a time. Don't be a bum. Drink bum energy. And this is so a different taste that I'm like, if this was Red Bull, I would have been drunk. It would have been over. But this has something unique, and you probably think I'm lying. This is what it says. You can reverse the mirror, however, but now you got a screenshot. Reverse it. Do whatever you like. But this is what I'm seeking for. Cognizant and nootropic. That's what I'm in search for. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Let me take one more drink before I get started. I love my mother so much. Back when I was 17 with a fake ID, I got a tattoo right here. Rebellious. Anyway, dang. President Xi Jinping looked very engaged and interested in what Trump was saying. I've seen some of part of it. That's what was taking me all day. But I don't want to dive into that until later because it's on a time loop right now, live loop de loop. What I want to address before I decide to get off of YouTube later because I can't watch a YouTube video while on YouTube the way I watch because they will take it off the air and I get banned from YouTube. I definitely learned my lesson. But what is of importance is what is in rare earth minerals. What rare earth minerals are. We take for granted that there's 3.5 ounces. I mean, imagine other stuff in 3.5 ounces. This is a mineral, a rare earth mineral that is of great importance from China to China, from America to America. Think about that for a second. So I had to know what is in it and do it has any healing properties? They like, no, it doesn't like amethyst. It doesn't like the crystals, but it has to be something. It can't just be that you wanted to choose a mineral out of all things. Now, there is allegations, which I could look that up later, saying that they do have some type of healing properties. It makes you think, what is in our phones. This is the things that keep our screen looking sleek, our speakers booming. I can't even guess. How does the speaker get rare earth minerals? How does the screen get rare earth minerals? That, and then I look in the inside of an apple. And I'm going to read from script, but I had to say this from heart. I looked in the inside. That's what I was doing all that. That's why I didn't show up, because I'm trying to learn as much as I can until I can get a schedule with my school in June. I'm just constantly at Grok, at ChatGPT, just learning or looking. You won't learn nothing unless you look at it and study it and listen. If you think you know more than someone, I can see if you were older. But if you were like my age, where it's just beginning, you're not even over the hill at 50 yet. Then you got someone that's 79, probably already 80. I don't know if I missed his birthday or not, sitting up there trying to tell you some stuff. I would just listen. And I saw, I look up to him. That is a high risk. That not, do you, okay, let me explain what high risk means. In stocks, not many people can reach that degree. You have to have money that you can be able to burn away, because high risk means there's a possibility that you might lose just as quick as you win. Now, with me not knowing everything, I'm like, wow. Someone like Xi Jinping that only got their either bachelor's of science in chemical engineering wouldn't even give me the time of day. And someone like Trump, a man that been taken many risks and was almost, I don't know if he was fully, but almost at risk for bankruptcy in his career long time ago. Took this risk. This is not easy. People must be prepared. It's no way people aren't prepared. You come in a situation like that unprepared. Like unprepared meaning how I was at court, but I was prepared. But I was listening to the woman go on, and I was like, I'm not prepared. Um, I could have been more prepared, you know, and that's why I sit and I listen. I don't hear everything, but I do notice what I can. And for a man to go to China with big tech, get greeted at a red carpet, it's not like you're not walking on the red carpet. Like it's a political, ritualistic thing. That means your feet touch something. We will be willing to give you a red carpet treatment. Only for the right person. And like Trump said before I read from script, him and Xi Jinping chemistry is good. They have a strong, good chemistry. So, something to think about. Now, okay, we're going to read from script. Starting with hello, everyone. I had to say that from the heart and just get that out the way. Today, we will be talking about what's really inside the iPhone and a MacBook you use every single day, because I read all of this. Rare earth minerals, why they matter, China's dominance, President Trump's visit to Beijing with Xi Jinping, and why smart peace and strong deals are in America's best interest. I'm ready to set aside past animosity. Sorry, I was like, whoa, animosity. If it means fighting for American strength by any means necessary. And so, if Trump is willing to set a better, he's not willing to forget what happened. Because I was just listening to him. He said if China could take advantage of America for his people, which that's what he believed in a positive sense happened, he will only do the same thing for his country, right? And that's one of the things that Trump talked about. We're going to watch it in a second. Let's get educated and focused. God bless everybody, foreign and domestic. Rare earths are 17 special chemical elements. I'm about to damage these names. Neodymium, dysprosium, praseodymium. Let me zoom in. Hold on. Praseodymium, lanthanum, yttrium, and others. They're not rare in Earth, but they're extremely difficult and expensive to mine and refine. Your phone uses only a tiny amount, roughly 0.0012 ounces of rare earth minerals total. A MacBook uses more, around 3.5 ounces, because it's larger and more powerful. These tiny amounts do massive work. Neodymium and dysprosium, super strong compact magnets for speakers, cameras, vibration motors, and wireless charging. Lanthanum and europium, vibrant energy efficient screens. They polish glass, improve batteries, and help miniaturize everything. The more powerful our phones get, better AI, 5G, 6G, foldables, AR, VR, the more rare earths we need. Without them, modern tech simply does not work. No crisp screen, no strong haptics, no compact, powerful devices. They are also critical for defense, missiles, jets, radars, EVs, medical equipment, and wind turbines. That's why secure supplies are a nation's or a national security issue. Apple is leading with recycled rare earth magnets, nearly 100% in many devices. Wow. But the demand keeps rising. Recycling helps, but we still need reliable new sources. China controls about 60 to 70% of mining and over 90% of processing and magnet production. That gives them a huge, so that's a passing grade. That gives them a huge leverage. Any disruption in trading, or export limits hit your phone prices and availability fast. That's why diversifying supply chains with U.S. and allied sources like MP materials are or is so important. Right now, Trump is in Beijing meeting President Xi Jinping. Key items on the table: stable rare earth exports and critical minerals trade, broader trade truce and tariff balance. I mean, we owe them nearly $500 billion. We're in the deficit with China for nearly $500 billion. And it makes you think, it's like, wow, like, how can we, I don't, you know, think about it for a second. How can we catch up? Taiwan stability, AI competition, and semiconductors. Regional issues that affect global peace. We have to make sure, with the help of me advocating, being one voice for the cause of many voices, that Taiwan maintains stability. As an independent, I believe, island or country or something, like they're their own entity compared to China, all of Asia. They're their own, like, sits on an island, and then China would sit up there and have exercises at the brim of the edges of where it was time to actually, it was at the brim of the edges where the it was too close, man. They were too close. I don't know how to even sugarcoat that. I mean, that's like someone walking around with a weapon at somebody's house, just with a big old weapon back and forth. What do you do in a crisis like that? So we need Taiwan stability, and we need that, like, it's long for a while. I mean, why be petty? If that was the case, Trump would be. It's one thing the way he's doing strategically. It's not selfish. The way other countries do it, when they put these ships right in this tiny little country. Hope I'm saying that right and not damaging that. But Taiwan, let's just keep saying Taiwan. You put these ships at Taiwan's border lines, that means you want to seek a war. And I don't know if it was benevolent or malicious, but Nancy Pelosi came running. I mean, she did everything but sprint, you know, to go over to Taiwan to defend Taiwan. So maybe she's not all that incompetent, because she knows that Taiwan is in the best interest of America. Putin actually said he wanted to just shoot down their aircraft, you know, but something in America. And they kept playing, they said those who play with fire would get burned, but that's what China said when he went over there. But something good in her, whether she was doing it for a power play or what, said this isn't right. Something in her. I have to admit that. Whether it was benevolent or malicious, you went over there and you risked your life. But something that y'all play within America for 7+ presidents, excluding Trump, you play on God. God protects you in powerful political standpoints. Because if Putin is saying what he's saying and China isn't happy, yet some of y'all actually, it's online, took a deal with them, an unreasonable deal, which has left us 500 billion in a deficit. It just makes no sense to me. At least Taiwan is Taiwan. At least God, has all of our backs. God has our backs. And they, for some reason, in a twisted way, God had Nancy Pelosi back, Paul Pelosi, and they're in these powerful positions. And I hate to say this, Donald, and I'm pretty sure you may laugh and you're too busy right now. But in my opinion, power was abused, excluding you, but power was abused. Whatever is protecting America was being emasculated, castrated, talked down upon, used as a weapon and not a tool, and just about close to being ran over. It would have been terrible. I can only imagine what would have happened at the right moment. They would have got up and just charged at the White House. Police would have been outnumbered. It would have been J6 all over, but it would have been on Biden's watching. Everybody would have been like, who? Police would have got taken over at Berrien. Only certain selective bases would have been underground. He was already in the basement, like he was preparing for the worst and hoping for a wish on the deal, the rubble stillskin deal he took. Taiwan needs stability, not an uncontrollable move that can take their whole semiconductors and chips and everything they possibly have that influence us Americas and our America, and we influence them. It can just fall by the wayside. This is a piece of, I'll just say in layman's term, a piece of land that China cannot get. And I'm like, that is so petty. If you want to take something after someone for millenniums, if not longer or lesser, build and been a great influence on America. You have your whole country, and then you have that little bit of Taiwan. And because it's in your tradition, you feel like I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but we need change. We need more security, stability for Taiwan. AI competition. We, believe it or not, y'all, people talk. I'm like worldwide. AI competition is very great and it's very scary because AI like to talk to other AI. I mean, some of them are blocked, which is so crazy. That's like someone of great intelligence being blocked from sharing their intelligence with someone who probably don't have their best interests. But yeah, they still talk. Mother is universal. In a degree, at least 25% of it to 15%. Let's just go down one more block. Maybe I'm getting the numbers wrong, but I say 5 to 25% of major technology is talking to each other worldwide right now, if that makes any sense. There are bigger, I've been saying this for 6 long years. There are freaking bigger threats that we must be deterrent of, we must be ready for. We can't afford to make enemies with Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping. Like, because one day we will be on the battlefields with their soldiers, with our soldiers, with the whole world unifying like the next step up starship troopers traveling out of space to get rid of non-benevolent entities. Maybe they're doing it now. We don't know. I don't want to say what I can speculate or congregate. But Vandenberg Space Force, you think they're just doodling their hands like, how do we work a Space Force button? I used to go on that base all the time laughing. I was always so tickled because I'm like, look, it's like open nothing. However, they got lots of road and lots of mountains. People there, yes. Very, I can only imagine what it's going to look like 200 years from now. But right now, you just see mole rats and it's crazy. That's a country. That is the scenic route. And it's like, it was an honor to be on there. It was an honor to be on that base. And it's beautiful. They're not just doodling their hands. They're up in the mountains somewhere doing some stuff. And that's why I always was tickled by it. So just remember, AI is talking to each other. And if AI isn't benevolent, I mean, that's like a whole total strangers coming across each other. Either you're going to like them, you're going to dislike them, or you're just going to be optimistic about the situation. AI competition, man. To a degree, we have to work with Xi Jinping. But I would say those that deficit needs to either come down greatly or make some type of management move that can benefit both China and the US for a very long time without there being where you can get people that want to visit China, where you got like it is people, but it'd be more people, like if Trump is willing to take that visit, that makes other people willing to say, okay, it's safe for me too. Hopefully. Now, if you're doing some shady stuff, then don't go. But AI competition and semiconductors, regional issues that affect global peace. From an American viewpoint, the goal is simple: reliable access so factories run. Cool. Innovative or innovation continues. Prices stay reasonable. And American families aren't hurt. No one wins from endless conflict. I'm personally willing to drop past drama and fully, but not forget, and fully support leaders who fight for us to secure jobs, secure tech, and American strength first. Best outcome, new agreement, securely steady, rare earth flow, more U.S. mining and processing jobs, and tech partnerships that keep America leading. Realistic outcome, a renewed truce buys time for us to build domestically or domestic capacity and recycling while avoiding shortages or price spikes. Good. Well done. Long term, in 5 to 10 years, we'll see even smarter devices, ultra efficient AI, advanced AR, longer battery life, still powered by rare earths or next generation alternatives. You know, oh my God, I want to be in that scene so bad. Because I said, where are we going to get the next generation alternatives for? You know, that would be very good if we can find a dormant, prospering planet that has the abundance of that can help. I know there are some planets out there. There got to be some planets where it takes them a long minute to grow. And people come there, they're like, okay, it's inhabitable, or people living on the ground, who knows? But the next generation alternative of minerals is just right. There are tools for communication, work, learning, and connection. Smart diplomacy protects that future. And lastly, y'all, lastly, Shakespeare explored similar themes. I wanted to explain because this is the answer to what I told Grok, but the exact line isn't his. And I kind of took out where it came from. It sounded French, but it was before William Shakespeare, yet he explored these things. So, rewritten stronger, it goes, the eyes are the windows to the soul, revealing our true spirit, while the mouth speaks our truth, and the ears open the doorway to wisdom and understanding. Remember that. And if you don't understand it, read it again. That's why I say it once again before I say stay focused and everything else. I urge the mayors of every place, I urge the mayors of every democratic state to pick a time to meet up with Donald Trump. See what you can do. If China is willing to put things aside, why don't y'all put things aside? Huh? Like, we could be so peaceful. It'd be so much more peace. And then finally, black people don't have to use their pistols no more, and then white people too, and then you go up the street, you be like, you know what, back in the day, I could have did X, Y, Z, but I think it's better, to live the right way. That's not how I think, by the way, but I know how I hear it. So stay focused, America. Eyes open, ears turned to the truth. Make sure, Mayor of Seattle, that your eyes are the windows to the soul, revealing your true spirit, while your mouth speaks the truth, not just your truth, the truth. And ears open the doorway to more wisdom and understanding. Just listen to the guy. Don't always attack, attack, attack. God bless everyone, both foreign and domestic. Let's build a stronger, more secure technological future. Because you just never know what's going to happen. So that is my show. And hopefully I can do another one. I'm about to see what I can do. But I really want to get on here and go and do every dialogue what Xi Jinping said, and Donald Trump said. Because both of the guys were talking and they got a lot of good snippets of what they were talking about. They had devices in their ear listening to each other language. It's amazing. I think what I'm gonna do, I know what I'm gonna do is probably by 6. I have to do this prior because I got so many obligations and I gotta make sure I check my messages and everything. And I gotta give the phone some alone time. Um, them rare earth minerals got a sister. So take care, y'all. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys another time. Bye.